When people hear the word addiction, they usually think of drugs, alcohol, or gambling. But some of the most common addictions today don't look dangerous at all. In fact, many of them are part of everyday life, and some are even praised by society. Whether it's constantly checking your phone, working without taking a break, or shopping just to feel better, these habits can slowly take control before you even realize it. Here are 10 modern addictions that millions of people struggle with every day. Have you ever taken a day off only to spend it answering emails or thinking about work? If so, you're not alone. Work addiction isn't about loving your job. It's about feeling like you always have to be doing something. Sitting still can actually make you feel guilty. The tricky part is that society often rewards this behavior. People who work long hours are seen as ambitious and successful, so it's easy to mistake an unhealthy habit for dedication. Over time, you may find yourself checking work messages during dinner, bringing your laptop on vacation, or struggling to relax because your mind is always focused on the next task. Eventually, the constant pressure catches up with you. Burnout, chronic stress, poor sleep, and strained relationships become much more likely. Ironically, working nonstop often makes you less productive in the long run. Being hardworking is a strength. But when you can't stop working, even when your body and mind are begging for a break, it may be more than just ambition. Be honest. What's the first thing you do after waking up? For millions of people, it's reaching for their phone before they even get out of bed. At first, it seems harmless. You just want to check the time, reply to a message, or scroll for a minute. But that minute often turns into 20. That's not entirely your fault. Social media apps are designed to keep your attention. Every notification, like, or new video gives your brain a tiny dopamine boost, making you want to come back for more. Before long, you might find yourself checking your phone without any real reason, feeling restless when it's not nearby, or scrolling while eating, watching TV, or even talking to someone. The more this habit grows, the harder it becomes to focus on real life. Sleep suffers, attention spans get shorter, and many people begin spending more time looking at a screen than interacting with the people around them. Your phone is an amazing tool, but it becomes a problem when it starts controlling your attention instead of helping you use it. Ever finished a dessert and immediately wanted another one? That feeling isn't just about having a sweet tooth. Sugar activates the brain's reward system, creating a quick burst of pleasure. The more often you rely on sugary foods for comfort, the more your brain starts expecting that same reward. That's why some people crave chocolate after a stressful day or can't end a meal without something sweet, even when they're already full. Cutting back isn't always easy either. Many people become irritable, experience intense cravings, or constantly think about sugary snacks during the first few days. If this habit continues for years, it can increase the risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and tooth decay. It may also leave you stuck in a cycle of energy spikes followed by sudden crashes. The good news is that many people notice those cravings become much weaker after reducing sugar for a few weeks. Sometimes your brain simply needs time to break the habit. It often starts with a simple thought: one more bet. The excitement of possibly winning triggers your brain's reward system, making it easy to keep chasing that next big win, even after losing. Many people begin betting more money to recover previous losses, hide their gambling from family, or think about gambling throughout the day. Unfortunately, the consequences can be devastating. What starts as entertainment can quickly turn into debt, damage relationships, anxiety, and serious financial problems. The biggest danger is that gambling convinces you the next bet will fix everything, when in reality, it often makes things worse. When you post something online, how often do you check to see who liked it? For some people, those numbers become more important than the post itself. Every like, comment, or new follower gives a small sense of reward. Over time, it's easy to tie your self-worth to other people's approval. You might find yourself checking notifications constantly, comparing yourself to others, or feeling disappointed when a post doesn't perform well. The problem is that online validation never lasts for long. The more you chase it, the more you'll need it, leaving you feeling anxious and never quite satisfied. Being in love is completely normal, but for some people, being single feels almost impossible. Instead of taking time to heal after a breakup, they rush into another relationship because being alone feels too uncomfortable. Over time, they may ignore red flags, accept unhealthy behavior, or stay with someone who's clearly not right for them, simply because they don't want to be by themselves. The result is often the same: emotional dependence, repeated heartbreak, and a cycle that's difficult to break. A healthy relationship should add to your happiness, not be the only reason you feel happy. For many people, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a daily necessity. One cup helps you wake up, but over time, your body can start depending on caffeine just to feel normal. If you can't start your day without coffee, get headaches when you skip it, or keep drinking more to get the same effect, it could be a sign of caffeine dependence. While caffeine is generally safe in moderation, too much can lead to anxiety, trouble sleeping, and a faster heart rate. There's nothing wrong with enjoying coffee. The problem begins when you feel like you can't function without it. Not every addiction involves a substance. Some people become addicted to chaos. Without realizing it, they constantly find themselves pulled into arguments, gossip, or online drama. When life feels too quiet, they start looking for the next source of excitement. Over time, this habit can leave you emotionally drained, increase stress, and damage your relationships. What feels entertaining in the moment often creates far more negativity than people realize. A peaceful life may seem boring at first, but it's usually a much healthier one. Shopping online has never been easier. With just a few taps, you can buy almost anything without leaving your couch. For many people, the purchase isn't really about needing the item. It's about chasing the excitement that comes from clicking buy now. The problem is that feeling doesn't last. It often leads to unnecessary spending, growing debt, and a house full of things that rarely get used. If shopping has become your go-to way of dealing with stress or boredom, it may be time to ask yourself whether you're buying products or simply buying a temporary feeling. At first, it seems harmless. You notice a small pimple or a rough patch of skin and tell yourself, I'll just pick at it for a second. But for some people, that 1 second turns into a habit that's surprisingly hard to control. They often do it without realizing it, especially when they're feeling stressed, anxious, or bored. Over time, repeated skin picking can cause scars, infections, and lower self-confidence. Many people want to stop but find themselves repeating the same behavior again and again. Sometimes, what looks like a simple bad habit is actually your mind's way of coping with stress.